qiegħda hawnhekk ma' Yukon li jiġi minn Shanghai. Qegħdin f'dawn il-ġonna Ċiniżi ġo Santa Lucia. Yukon ilu Malta 17 sena jitkellem ftit bil-Malti u wkoll jieħu ħsieb il-football team Ċiniż. Thank you for joining us today. First of all, I'm very impressed about your Maltese.
It's okay. I just passed the Maltese level 2 and I think I did some quite hard work and I passed it.
I can imagine. Tell us more about your Chinese football team.
Well, we started the team because first of all, we find a lot of Chinese people in Malta. They love football. And then we used to play with Maltese and the Europeans who live in Malta. And then we had this idea, why don't we set up a football team ourselves? And then we can play regularly. And then obviously we can always invite Maltese friends and other European friends. Yeah, that's how we started.
So you've been playing football in Malta since you were young?
Since I was in Shanghai, China, I mean, when at school. Football is always a passion, and it's good for the physics and good for the society and for making friends. And this is just because of just the love of the football, yeah.
How often do you meet and where do you practice?
Well, we before the COVID-19, we used to go once a week to Zaytun Corinthians because they are very nice to us. We have a special connection to them. We go to train with the team, not the men's team, the amateur team, and then we play twice a week in different pitches.
How many people are in your football team?
Currently we have a group of around 38 people. Every time when we play, we have always around 20 people.
And what about children, Chinese children?
Well, our team members always bring their kids when we play. So like they are playing next to us, a small pitch, have fun, and even their wives, they come over, have a coffee together. Sometimes they have dinner together after the match.
And that's at the Zaytun Football Club?
Yeah, sometimes in the Zaytun Football Club and sometimes in other pitches that we go to play. Yeah.
You've lived in Malta for 17 years. Can I ask what is your favorite thing or place about Malta?
Well, I can tell you straight away that my favorite thing, is the Maltese people. Maltese people are very friendly, and I have good friends who take me as a family of theirs, and we always go out eat together. And sometimes, like Christmas, they prepare a chair for me, and I just go join them as a family. Yeah,
oh,
and yeah, I can say that. Yes.
That's lovely. Can you give a message to the Maltese viewers in Maltese?
Well, okay. Content ħafna li noi onet Malta. Grazie ħafna ġurnata tajba.
Ashley, you and Yukon have met in Malta and you're both from China.
Yes.
Can you tell me how you find living here and how you've adjusted?
I was working for my last company back in China, Beijing, and they have a branch office here in Malta. And in 2017, they decided to assign me here to the branch office to lead the whole team. So I ended up in Malta, and I found this a really lovely country, and it's really relaxing and balancing. So I decided to set my route here, and then through some friends, I met Yukon. So we matched each other really, really well, and we're thinking about the future here in Malta.
马耳他是一个美丽的国家，我很享受在这边的生活，也很享受在这边的踢球的时光。谢谢。
我来马耳他学习有1年了，我感觉这边的环境非常好，很适合学习英语。在课余时间，我也会经常参加一些足球运动、体育运动。总之，我很享受这里的时光。
Illum Kevin se jaqsam magħna aktar informazzjoni dwar it-slazzi Ċiniżi. Se naraw id-differenza bejn is-soy sauces u għaxiex kull wieħed minnhom jintuża. Kevin se jaqsam magħna wkoll tarif dwar slazzi Ċiniżi tradizzjonali bħal oyster sauce u ingredjenti inqas komuni bħal tofu li jiġi lest fit-salsa Ċiniża u jintuża bħala contorn. Eda illum ma' Kevin Zhang li huwa speċjalist tal-ingredienti u ikel orientali u sa jibda jagħmlilna educational ta' spiss. Illum sa nibdew bis-sauces Ċiniżi u differenza li naraw biex inkunu nafu x'għandna nażlu. Thank you so much for giving us this educational today.
You're welcome.
We're starting with the sauces. Obviously, we always see a big variety and we never know what to choose.
Alright.
And I'd like to start from these three sauces, perhaps, the ones that are a bit thicker. And perhaps we can explain what they are and...
Okay, so that is a chili sauce, you know, but it's quite famous and branded. This is a fried tofu, so it's hard, it's crispy, and this is also the it's fried peanuts.
Yes.
Yeah, so that is the oil, the chili oil with crispy ingredients inside. Basically, it has
Kohlrabi, peanuts.
and tofu in chili oil.
Okay.
This is quite famous and very tasty.
It's very tasty. Ġifri, Kevin għetidna dan il-sos huwa tradizjonali ħafna fiċ-Ċina u fih il-ġidra, il-karawet u il-tofu u koll il-ċili. Taraw għawek ħafna zejt u koll. Ġifiri dan aħna noqogħdu attenti dejjem biżjut li nużaw. U għalhekk ftit bħala kontorn mal-ikel u dak iż-żejt dejjem nifgħu naqra żejt ta' żebbuġa. Minflok naqra żejt ta' żebbuġa nżidu dan is-sos. So, and what about this one, Kevin?
So this is I think most all the Europeans and all the worldwide people like this sauce because it's called Peking duck sauce. Put it on the pancakes of the duck and you wrap them up with the Peking crispy duck, roasted crispy duck.
Lovely, lovely. And can you use this ingredient with something else?
Actually, you can dip this, if you like the taste, and you can dip with anything you want. I mean, the food. But when it's combined with the pancakes and the duck and onions and also the cucumber, sliced cucumber, it will be a perfect combination.
Delicious. And then we have this, which is more unusual. I haven't really seen this.
Yes. So that is something very traditional because this is called a bean curd.
Oh.
It's bean curd. That is tofu, but it's fermented tofu.
And what do you use it with?
That's many ways to eat it. Some people they like to make them as a sauce base to dip when they eat hot pot, the traditional Chinese, spicy hot pot, and also you can eat as it is.
Okay.
A lot of people, eat for breakfast.
So it's more like a condiment.
Yes.
Like a condiment.
Yeah, condiment.
Okay.
And we have different colors, but today I'm showing you the rose color one, which is the most popular one.
So it makes the plate very colorful too.
Sure.
What is this? I was very curious to see what that is.
So that is a pure sesame paste. Let me just take it out for you. You see, that is a sesame paste in oil, in sesame oil.
So I would say that this is maybe I can say it's very similar to the Middle Eastern tahini.
Yes.
But I would say from the smell it's a bit stronger, I would think. So that's great.
So that's we also use it to create a base, a sauce base for dipping.
Lovely, lovely. And ġifija wek għanna xaħġa bħal tahini li jiġi mid-ġunġlin, imma zjed qawwi mit-tahini. Din hija kontorn mamula mill-tofu, mill-bean curd u jpoġġuh għal jiġi kuluri differenti. Dan huwa il-salsa għal Peking duck. ġifiri aħna naraw għas-soltu fil-ristoranti. Then we have a variety here of soy sauces and oyster sauce. Can we perhaps show them to our
let's
viewers?
start with the most common one, which is soya sauce. So here is the light soya. So this shows superior light soya sauce.
Soya?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can notice the color.
Okay.
It's a little lighter than the...
Ġifiri dan huwa light soya sauce, naqra ċar fil-kulur. And what about...
and this is the dark soya. You can have a
Okay.
look.
Very
You
big
see
difference.
the difference, yeah?
A very
Right.
big difference. Ġifiri għawek nistaw naraw id-differenza bejn il-soya sauce skur u soya sauce ċar. The darker one also has a stronger flavor.
Actually, the darker one is for coloring.
Okay.
You know, to make the food more looks, brownish.
Rich.
Yeah, more rich color.
So you
taste.
would add the lighter one with something like rice, not to give it too much color?
No, the lighter one actually is more for flavoring.
I see. Okay, so one is for flavoring
One
and
is
the
for
other one for
coloring.
coloring.
That's right.
And then finally, we have the three other sauces that are very commonly used.
Yes, this is oyster sauce.
And what do you use the oyster sauce for?
The oyster sauce, you have many ways of using it. Most for cooking, you can add to any dishes, veg and meat.
And just a
anything.
little quantity?
Yes, a little quantity.
A
should
little
be.
quantity. And then I see that you have the gluten-free
That's right.
version. So you've got
Yeah.
the same sauce in a gluten-free version.
Exactly, yes.
And I'm going to pour a bit here so that we can see the difference. It's very thick.
Yeah.
In fact, what I'm seeing, and I think people who follow a gluten-free diet will see, is that there really isn't any difference in the
In texture,
and
texture,
the color.
yeah, and the
so
color.
people who follow a gluten-free diet should be very pleased, I think, to have
Yes, right,
this. And then finally, what do we have? We have some ingredients here that are a
That's
bit more unusual.
also it's a traditional vinegar called the brown vinegar, and it's very nice smell. Have a look.
And what do you use this with?
That's you adding to most of the seafood or fish cooking, and we also for a lot of different meat cooking as well.
Okay.
To add the brown vinegar. There's many ways of using it. I mean, you can
And
add
marinating, can you marinate food?
Yes, you can too. Yeah.
And finally, this last one, I
Yeah.
was very, because obviously I look at the bottle and it's got Chinese writing, and me, as somebody Maltese, doesn't know what it is. What is it exactly?
So this is a traditional huadiao cooking wine. So this is you adding to the food to increase the aroma of the food. It's more tasty, and it's becoming a traditional Chinese taste.
Ingredient.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
And perhaps we can show, I'm just going to put some ġifti tawek, kem naraw xinu dal-imbit. Ġifi l-imbit u ċar, kif qed naraw, qed taraw hawnhekk. Huwa ċar. It's very clear, the color. So it
the
should
color is a little brownish, a little bit.
And finally, we have this.
Yes. Also, that is one of the common ingredients for among the Chinese food.
And it's more like a chicken stock powder.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
You use it maybe to enhance the flavor a bit. You just add a little touch. I mean, for the final.
Lovely, lovely.
food.
Thank you very much,
You're welcome.
Kevin, for
Thank you,
today. These are all Chinese ingredients, I
Yes,
have to
they are.
add. Ġifiri mill-kċina orientali, l-lum rajna it-slazzi orientali, slazzi ċinizi li jiġu minn ċina. San nintaqgħu issa ma' Christine li tiġi minn Ħaltarxin u ilha taħdem hawnhekk fiċ-Ċentru Kulturali għal aktar minn sentejn. Nirringrazzjak Christine. Kif jħossok wara sentejn taħdem hawnhekk fiċ-Ċentru Kulturali il-Belt Valletta?
Ħanejle, pala kultura hija vasta li taħseb li tkun taf u dejjem tiskopri xi affarijiet ġodda. Kull ħaġa fija sinifikat, jiġifieri mhix ġast kultura jew tpinġija, kollox fih sinifikat li hija xi ħaġa sabiħa ħafna.
X'inhu xogħolok hawnhekk fil-Ċentru Kulturali?
Mela, xogħol hawnhekk huwa bħala receptionist, jiġifieri niltaqa' l-ewwel man-nies, infehmhom fuq l-events tagħna, niltaqa' wkoll mal-membri. Aħna apparti ċ-ċentru hawnhekk għandna sistema tal-membri li jħallsu bħala small amount kull sena u aħna dejjem nabdejtjawhom bl-events tagħna, kollna pereżempju l-ftuħ tal-exhibition ikunu mistednin u dejjem nagħti l-informazzjoni ta' xi jkun qiegħed għaddej fiċ-ċentru tagħna. Ġewwa ċ-ċentru u anke l-events li jkollna barra miċ-ċentru.
Son, what is your job within the cultural center?
I'm in charge of some training course about our center, like Chinese course, Chinese training course, and Tai Chi Fan, and some instrument, yeah, and some hard craft.
Madam Sun tieħu ħsieb l-edukazzjoni fiċ-ċentru Ċiniż għall-Kultura. F'Ottubru se nkomplu il-lezzjonijiet tal-lingwa Ċiniż ukoll tal-arħu li hija strument magħrufa bħala il-vjolin Ċiniż u ukoll il-logħba Go li hija logħba Ċiniża.
Mark mill-Melliħa ilu jaħdem fiċ-ċentru kulturali Ċiniż hawnhekk il-Belt Valletta għal kważi sena. X'inhu xogħolok hawnhekk, Mark?
Jien xogħli huwa li nibgħat l-istadini u nżomm lista tal-membri updated.
Tim, how long have you been here in Malta?
I've 3 years living in Malta.
And what is your role within the cultural center?
Right now, I'm the chief of the information department, and the usually do the things like the search some local information and make some exchange to between Malta and China.
And which part of China do you come from?
In the center, I found Chengdu, the panda's home.
And do you feel you've integrated well with Maltese society?
Yes. The Maltese is very warm and very friendly, so I love here.
I'm working in the same department with Madam Sun in the Training and Information department.
And do you find that Maltese people are interested in the education programs you hold over here?
Yes, of course. Actually, our activities are very interesting to all the ages of the Maltese people, and I can feel that all the Maltese people, they like our interesting activities and they would like to enjoy the magnificent Chinese culture and Chinese foods, also the Chinese intangible heritage. So I feel happy to offer this kind of opportunity to all the Maltese people.
Thank you very much for all your arrangements within the Cultural Centre, Mr. Su. What are you hoping for the rest of your stay in Malta to do with your family?
Okay, because I already been here for two and a half years, and last year my family, my wife, and my son, because my son is a little still only 2 years old, and my mom is also accompanying with us. And in Malta, we visit. I take them to visit all of the islands, and they love the islands so much. But because at the beginning of this year, because my wife she's pregnant, she has to go back to China. But now we already have one son and one daughter. But I hope that after, if they can come back to Malta later, I hope that we enjoy the life in the island and in Gozo. We love Gozo very much.
I helped Mr. Su to take in charge of the projects events and the campaigns to exchange the Chinese culture and make more involved the Chinese culture and Chinese events in Malta.
Is this your first posting abroad out of China?
No, because before that I lived in Paris for 5 years to do the same things. It's like the Chinese culture and Chinese culture exchange.
And what has your experience been in Malta?
I think it has really impressed me that the Maltese people love Chinese culture and they really welcome the Chinese culture and really open to the Chinese people. That's what I really moved.
Mr. Young, thank you very much for welcoming us here and for being so hospitable. I've learned a lot about China, as have our team and our audience. What have your achievements been?
By this program, actually first I'd like to thank you, and we created an opportunity and a platform which we can enroll people from both countries. And we use quite a lot of video material from China, and also we mobilize Maltese friend and Chinese friend who can share their experience and stories on China. So both countries, people from both countries can understand each other. So you know the culture is cross boundaries. So actually by this way, in such a large scale, we use TV media, we can create a bridge like to make people from both countries to understand each other better.
I have to say on behalf of the Maltese public, our feedback has been excellent, especially people who have got to know more about China and your culture and traditions. What has been the feedback about Malta from people in China?
Also, when we watched this TV series, we will also use our social media, like WeChat and Facebook, to release all these video episodes. Actually, every time I can see very positive feedback from Maltese. And also since WeChat is very popular in China, and also we use Chinese website to report this filmmaking, not only about the content, but also about how we cooperate with our Maltese friend to make this program. By far, what I received from the internet, actually, there's also quite interesting, and some Chinese people, think, this is a good initiative, and they also enable them to understand there is Malta, a small, beautiful country in Mediterranean Sea.
Thank you very much. It's been a real pleasure.